Okay. Calm down. I know we're late. What is going on, LBHT crew? Look, we gotta make sure things are right before we set things up here, okay? But we're here, all right? It's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Hope your week is going well. But if not, like mine, hopefully it gets better starting right now. We are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So wherever you're watching us, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you're listening to the audio podcast, it will be Thursday. Happy Thursday. It'll be around lunchtime. Hope you're enjoying your lunch. Make sure you leave a 5-star review because we're trying to grow on that side of the podcast. All right. No, man, my week hasn't been going that great. Busy week. And, I was telling B about some one of these students at work, man, just overstepping the line a little bit. And that's gonna be the theme. Yeah, that's gonna be the theme of today's show. Okay, line steppers. Okay, this kid was a first time line stepper, and he's gonna learn a hard lesson tomorrow. And we're gonna talk about Aaron Rodgers, who is a habitual line stepper. Yes. Okay. My story I'm gonna say for the overtime show. That's gonna be for overtime. All right. Because it's open mic night. I'll get that off my chest. So if you want to hear about that, patreon.com.
You know what's funny? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Patreon.com/LBHT Show. What's funny, B?
What's funny is like you're saying Aaron Rodgers is a habitual line stepper, but Aaron Rodgers would ask you, well, he wouldn't even ask you. He'd just laugh in your face and say, you think there's a line. You think the line is real. You're captured. Unbelievable.
He said, I don't like your chi. Let's get some shout outs in here. Just Aloe, what's going on? Says hello everyone. No live show next week, so Merry Christmas. No live show, but there will be a show.
Yes, okay? But Merry Christmas anyway. Just Aloe.
Merry Christmas. Appreciate you. 86 Ghost Bazel is first. This is the actual first comment. Appreciate you, Bazel. Thanks for coming through.
What's up, Bazel?
Our brother Eric L. Salute, Eric L. Thanks for coming through. Says, greetings, everyone. Have a most excellent show, brother men. Thank you, Eric. Really appreciate you. Urban's in the house. Says, Harbs told me to tell y'all Rave Kingdom is a menace to society.
And we got a super chat from Bazel. Thank you very much for the $10 super chat. He says, so are we against line stepping at the family reunion once the DJ drops that track?
Well, listen, I didn't say all line stepping is bad, okay? But the line steppers that we're talking about today,
just don't be habitual about it.
Yeah, like I said, you gotta go to Patreon to hear about the line stepper at work. I don't think he's gonna like it tomorrow, or his classmates. Let's see what else we got in here. Daniel Franklin's in the house. He's laughing at it. Hey, it is what it is. All right. Jeremy Miller, what's going on? Says, hey, everyone. What's up, Jeremy? Yolanda's in the house. Says, hello, LBHT family. Hello, Yolanda. Very interesting conversation that Yolanda and Shug and B and Hendo had on the Steel Conspiracy show last night. Very interesting conversation. That was a lot of fun.
You laugh, but I'm a man. I'm 19. All right, or you don't tell me what's.
Attitude pop. I was just playing with you, right? I was messing with you. Kathleen Masterson, what is going on? Thanks for coming through. Says, hey, everyone. Happy holidays to you all. Happy holidays to you, Kathleen. Thank you for coming through. I be saying what's going on. Says, what up, LBHT? Will the Ravens keep the Steelers in the losing column? This is the other line steppers that we're going to talk about today. Not that they stepped out of line, but they beat us last time, so that's out of line in my book as a Ravens fan.
Beat you all right? Out of the last 9, right?
Yeah. Habitual line steppers. Yes.
There you go.
They should have a 3-game losing streak. Maybe. The Eagles took care of game 1. We got to take care of game 2, and then we'll take it from there. All right. Osmond in the house. What's going on? Says hello, Jose, Brodny, in all the chat. Hello, Osmond. We got King Trent TV. Salute. Says, what's up, fellas? What's up with you? Our guy Killers in the house. Says, hola, Jose. And also, Mucho gusto, Brodny.
Nice to meet you, Cam. As always.
Yes, indeed. All right. So we gotta cover the Ravens Steelers matchup. We want to talk about a couple of other Ravens related things as well. We'll talk a little Panthers. Okay. Disappointing outing, even for B standards, who wants them to continue to lose, but he wanted to see a better performance than that. We'll get into that. We'll talk about the king of habitual line steppers, Aaron Rodgers, and the court of public opinion. All right, and then we'll do some overtime show. All right, for our Patreons. But first, we like to start every show with a Black History fact, and B and Okole have a Black History fact for you.
Welcome to this week's Black History Fact. John Canoe parades, also known as Jonkonu, are lively and colorful celebrations that merge African, European, and Caribbean traditions. They began in Jamaica during the colonial period and later spread to other Caribbean regions and coastal parts of North America, such as the Bahamas and North Carolina. These parades typically take place around Christmas and New Year. The name John Canoe likely derives from an African chief or trader. Enslaved Africans brought this tradition to the Americas, where it evolved to include local cultural elements and European influences, specifically the traditions surrounding Christmas. The parades became a way for enslaved and later free Black communities to express their cultural identity, creativity, and resilience. John Canoe parades are known for their vibrant costumes, masks, and spirited music. Participants wear elaborate outfits with masks and headpieces representing various characters, such as animals, historical figures, and mythical beings. Drumming, dancing, and singing are central to the celebrations, creating a joyful and energetic atmosphere. Today, John Canoe parades remain an important cultural event in many communities. They are a reminder of the rich cultural heritage and enduring spirit of African-descended peoples in the Americas. These parades are not only festive occasions, but also opportunities to educate and celebrate cultural traditions.
All right. Salute to the Black History fact. Hey, Sterling's in the house. What's going on, Sterling?
That he is. As is
Jared Green's in the house. Hey.
What's up, Jared?
Salute. The Southern Baller Show. Salute to you, man. Thanks for coming through. All right. The Ravens, they need their get back this week. Okay. They need some revenge. All right. In the rematch of the disappointing loss in what week was it? I can't remember what week it was.
I don't remember. They've beaten you so many times in a row.
That's true. That's a cold hard truth. What's up, MDT Sports? Dre's in the house. What's going on, Dre? Mr. Galloway, salute. All right. Let's just be real. We shouldn't have lost the first game. Okay.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to stop you right there.
We shouldn't have lost. Yes, we should have started with that. All right, now we can go.
And I'm going to stop right there and say, if you can't beat a team who doesn't score a touchdown, you don't get to then say we should have won that game.
I didn't say we should have won. I said we shouldn't have lost.
Same thing.
It's not the same thing.
Same thing.
Okay. Sometimes the team beats you, and sometimes you beat yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And if you listen to Ravens fans, nobody's ever beaten Baltimore but Baltimore.
That's pretty amazing that you can keep a team from scoring touchdowns. You score 2 touchdowns and still lose.
That is amazing. But that's the Ravens way.
All right. So I think coming off a bye, uh, having a good tune up in the Giants uh, is a good way to prepare for this game, and they're coming off a tough loss to the Eagles, and this game's at home. This is one of the games that we have to have. No, it doesn't determine whether or not we get into the playoffs, right? I think win or lose, we're going to be a playoff
They're
team.
likely in anyway, regardless.
Yes, we're likely in. But win this one, we clinch. But
Yeah.
it's not about that. It's about showing that you're at a point now where you're ready for the playoffs and you're ready for these big games and you're ready to take on the top teams in the league. The Steelers are one of the top teams in the league. Okay. And at some point, you have to show that you can beat these teams when it matters.
Mhm.
This isn't a win or go home situation, but it's an important game. Like, we want to have at least one home field game in the playoffs. We have to beat the Steelers. We have to win out to win the division. That's the only way it's going to happen. I didn't even think it was going to happen after they beat down the Browns the second time. I was like, okay, well, they're pulling away with it. But they beat the Eagles, and looking at it now, because they have what, 4 losses?
The Steelers have 4. They're 10-4.
They're 10-4. Okay, and we're what, 10-5?
Yes,
Or 9-5 or something like that. 9-5. Okay, so if we beat them, then that means we'll have tied records. We'll have tied overall records and tied division records.
Mm-hmm.
But we had the tiebreaker in terms of conference wins. Is that correct?
No, the Steelers would have a 1-game advantage in their conference record.
Okay, so they will still be number 1.
I haven't checked into it. I know that usually it goes with the head-to-head, then division, then conference. If that is in fact still the case, then yeah, they would be technically still in first at that point.
So we would still need. Well, we have to look at the schedule. I'm not sure who they have left on the schedule. I know we have Houston left. We have the Browns. Who else?
I forget the Ravens' last one. The Steelers have Baltimore at Baltimore, then they're home for the Chiefs and home for the Bengals to close out the season. Baltimore, let me pull it up real quick. Looking at their schedule, they have the Steelers, Texans, and Browns.
Okay, yep, that's it. Steelers, Texans, and Browns. So, if we went out and they lose this game and then win out, I think they still are on top. So we'll probably need some help from the Chiefs. And let's just be real, man. Like, the Chiefs, I don't even know if Pat Mahomes is going to be playing in that game. They've already clinched, they haven't clinched home field advantage. I don't think they care that much.
Yeah.
I think they just want to be healthy. He may or may not play in that game. We might get edged out, but we have to win this game. Like, we have to win out, beat the Steelers, and beat these other teams in impressive fashion going into the playoffs. If we don't get a home field game, then we earn that, and we got to do it the hard way. That's fine, but it's time for us to start showing that we can be one of those teams that, that can win a Super Bowl.
Sure. If you're one of those teams.
Yes,
that would be an ideal time to begin showing that. The defense has started playing better as of late. Part of that is probably that they haven't really played super high level competition the last couple of weeks, but they've been playing better regardless. The Steelers really struggled against Philly. They struggled moving the ball at all. They struggled to run. They struggled to pass. It wasn't a great game for them. If Baltimore can continue their higher level defensive play that we've seen over the last few weeks, I honestly don't think this game should be that big of an issue for them. I'm not one. I mean, I know the Steelers have a lot of talent in that front seven with T.J. Watt. They got Highsmith back, Herbig coming off the bench. Obviously, they got Hayward there. And I know the Ravens' O-line isn't great, even though you got your first look at Ben Cleveland at center last week. He may be coming to save the day. But I feel like Baltimore is a more talented team than Pittsburgh. Russell Wilson is not an elite quarterback at this point in his career. Obviously, Lamar Jackson, the top quarterback in the league this season. Derrick Henry far outplaying Najee Harris. George Pickens, I think, is a more talented receiver than Baltimore has, but I wouldn't even say he's been more consistently productive than those guys in Baltimore. So, I feel like their offense should be able to go in there and put up points almost at will on Pittsburgh. But what these games always come down to and why it's been so lopsided is because Mike Tomlin has John Harbaugh's number, right? And John Harbaugh, even if it's not Mike Tomlin, when he gets into big games, John Harbaugh, he kind of shrinks, right? And that's what they need to avoid. Obviously, this coming Saturday, like I said, it's a big time game. It's not going to determine whether or not they go to the playoffs, but it could determine whether or not they get to play a home game in the playoffs. And like you said, it's a time for Baltimore to kind of basically man up and go and show what you're really about. All those speeches that Roquan Smith gives before the games about protecting the house and all that, trying to be the rah-rah Ray Lewis guy, he needs to go out there and put it on the field too, right? Mm-hmm. They need to go out there. They need to feed Derrick Henry. Lamar needs to keep playing at that high level that he's been playing all season. Rashad Bateman needs to continue to show that he is that number 2 receiver. Zay Flowers needs to step up and show he can be that number 1 guy. Mark Andrews needs to show that he's not always going to disappear when you need him the most. It's kind of a gut check moment for a lot of guys on that team. And honestly, I think they're all going to come through. I think they're going to win this one fairly easily. That's the feeling that I have going into this game. I think that Baltimore is going to make this a statement game, especially after all of and I know it's sort of unrelated, but especially after all the nonsense that the media and Bills fans have been talking about Josh Allen v. Lamar Jackson after last week's games. I think they're going to want to go out there and make a statement against one of the better teams in the NFL. I think they get it done.
It's never easy with the Steelers. I think they will win, though. Lamar didn't play his best game against the Steelers, and that's credit to their defense. They have an excellent defense, but he'll rise above it this time. He'll make the plays that he feels like that he needs to make to keep them ahead, and they'll win this game. And I think this will be one of the games he'll win in spite of coaching, because I don't know, man. Like we asked this question, we asked this question about Lamar. Lamar always raises his bar. We asked a question about other players. Some of the players raise the bar, some don't. But we never really asked that question about Harbaugh. How is he going to get better? How is he going to improve? Not just in the offseason, going to next year, but throughout the season, going into the playoffs. Is he going to stop choking? Because it's just a matter of their coach is better than ours. And then we get to the playoffs. You have coaches that I don't even think are better than him, out coaching him sometimes. So is that going to change about him? Is he going to stop being so predictable? Is he going to, stop calling 2 timeouts on the first drive of the game?
Probably
it's things like that where like he puts pressure on himself, and it's obvious in those situations. Calm down, relax. Same thing as you tell a player. Coach your game. You have the better team. You're not a bad coach. I don't think he's a bad coach. I think he's bad for our team now, but I don't think he's a bad coach. But go out there and coach the game. Like, yes, we have our weaknesses. They have their weaknesses too. Their O-line ain't great. Owe might hit double-digit sacks this game.
Right? Well, and when you bring that up, I was going to say one of the keys for this game, I think. Diontae Owe back in week 11 when they lost 18-16 to Pittsburgh. 5 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 4 QB hits, 2.5 sacks. Those are pretty dominant type numbers, right? If that's something that you could do on a regular basis. Obviously, he hasn't done it on a regular basis, but those are dominant numbers. And look, if he we always talked about he has that kind of sense of the moment. It seems like when they really need big plays defensively, he's come through a few times, going all the way back to his rookie season.
Yeah.
And listen, if he can go back and watch that film of what he did to Broderick Jones and say, you know what, I can do that again, that'll go a long way towards helping them kind of wrap up this game and ultimately the division. I think whoever wins this game is winning the division. Steelers fans will tell you Broderick Jones has been playing better as of late. That's fine. But, if you're the guy that Eric DaCosta thought you were, that Yolanda thinks you are, this is when you step up and say, hey, I don't care that this guy's been playing a little bit better. I'm still better than him. I'm still going to go out there and dominate him in this game. I'm going to get to 10 sacks, and make things uncomfortable for Russ all day long. I don't think that Russ is a guy who can keep up his level of play over, multiple weeks. He showed that the last couple of years in Seattle. He showed it in Denver that, he gives you half a season, maybe a little bit more, and then he starts to decline in his play. And I think, we're kind of hitting that mark now. And, if they can get some pressure on him, get some hits on him, while maintaining keeping the run game under wraps, I just don't see Pittsburgh really being able to keep pace this time. Because, they couldn't score last time, obviously, right? They didn't get into the end zone at all. But the difference is that Baltimore's offense just did not show up. And I don't think that'll be an issue. Like I said, especially after the week of narrative that we've had surrounding Lamar and Josh Allen.
Yeah. All right, we got a special guest here, man, and I really appreciate him coming on, especially on a day like this, man. Suffered a tragedy in his family. My condolences to him. He's our brother. He's been rocking with us for a few weeks now, man. Our guy Adrian AD from Press Start 410. Let's bring him up, B.
Yo, what it is?
Up, man? Hey, appreciate you coming through, man, especially on a day like this, man. Our condolences to you and your family, man.
Yes, absolutely.
I appreciate y'all, boy. Thank y'all, man.
Yeah. So look, man.
Before you jump in there, Jose, we do have a super chat from Kevin. It was $5. Can I coin the phrase "Olay Brothers" for 65 and 70s? you can call Patrick McCarry whatever you want. You ain't bringing Daniel Falele in here, man. You can't be doing. All right, that's fine. The Olay Brothers, they are for now.
Yeah. I mean, technically, if nobody's running by, past you, you're just kind of standing in the open area. You're not Olaying anybody.
Listen, y'all keep talking bad about him, but like he's a sentinel. He stands there, he surveys the area, and ain't nobody getting by Falele. Y'all just want to see more action. You want to see him be more active. That's not his game, all right? Adrian, what do you feel? You
can't give him a sack if you're not standing in front of anybody, right?
How you feeling about Steelers week, Adrian?
Oh man, what is it, man? 9 out of 10? Is that where we at right now? Not 9 out of 10 lost.
8 or 9, 10, something like that.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and I know Suge will probably come through the speaker right now and slap me if I get this wrong. Lamar has only missed 4 or 5 of those contests, Suge. Yeah. So Lamar has taken a good chunk of those losses. Okay, all right, but it's a new game, new week, Saturday, 4:30. We got the GOAT Tom Brady in the building from the bank, calling a game. TJ Watt, is he hurt? Is he not hurt? Is he playing? Is he not playing? TJ Watt don't play. We got to win. Hands down. Got to win with no TJ Watt. He is their best player on either side of the ball, in my opinion. I don't even think it's really all that close. Mm-hmm. He just wrecks a game, and you got to account for him. Got to put 2 bodies on him. You got to keep extra men in the chip and in the block that could be out, running routes and making plays down the field. And, he always just seems to make that timely, sack forced fumble recovery. What they called it, the hat trick, the trifecta. He's the best in the business at it. I think he's the best defensive player in the league. It's either him or Myles Garrett virtually every year, neck and neck in that defensive player of the year race. And I think we're the healthier team right now, and we're the team that has more to gain with this game. I know the Ravens aren't traditionally great as a home field playoff team, but I would like to get at least the first home playoff game here. And the one way to ensure that, the only way, is to win the AFC North at this point, because second seed ain't happening, and we damn sure not getting the 1 seed at this point.
Wow. Shout out to Noah for a $2 donation. Says happy holidays. Salute, Noah. Appreciate it.
You, Noah. Happy holidays.
Go ahead, Adrian.
Yeah, I'm in the Christmas spirit. I had to switch my background up on some Jose stuff. I did some arts and crafts. That's why it took me a little longer. I had to get it right. I had to throw the logo in there, and my shoulder blocking it a little bit. But it's all good.
It's all good, man. Appreciate the love.
But the whole point is, we need this game more than them, just for a shared confidence standpoint. We're as good or better than this team virtually every year, and a lot of times we're better than this team on paper. But we come up short, and it's always in the fourth quarter. It's always a critical play, a failed 2-point conversion, a turnover at an inopportune time, not being able to execute in the red zone. Hasn't been missed kicks, but this year it could be the way Tucker's been going, although he was 5-5 on extra points last week. We just got to find a way to get it done. I believe in the Ravens. I'm never the guy that's going to sit here and pick against the Ravens. I got us winning 23-20, fourth quarter. Lamar drives down for the game-winning touchdown. Epic game. Something that might catapult him back into the MVP race. Because right now, everywhere I'm turning, Josh Allen seems to be the MVP based on what all the pundits are saying.
Yeah. DDSQ says, what's good, y'all? Who is better, Prime TJ or Prime JJ? I'm going to tell you, I'm going to say JJ Watt. It's not,
Me too.
Not even particularly close. I mean, TJ Watt's a phenomenal player. I'm not trying to say he's not. He's going to the Hall of Fame, but I think JJ is clear, like a clear step above TJ.
Now, better question. Who's the best brother duo in NFL history? Because they might be in the conversation as the best brother duo. But we obviously got Peyton and Eli and a bunch of other brothers. TK and Ronnie with dogs.
Right, off the top of my head, I would go Shannon and Sterling.
Oh, yeah.
Sterling didn't have the longevity, but he was a dog.
But he had some dominating numbers.
Yeah, an incredible wide receiver, and Shannon obviously retired as one of the best tight ends of all time. So if I had to pick just right now off the top of my head without going, I'd go with the Sharps.
And the Matthews had an entire family at one point in the league. They had uncles, nephews, cousins. Everybody was in the NFL.
Right.
Not brother duo though, but yeah. They had like 2 generations of Matthews playing. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think. That's a good question, DDSQ.
Mm-hmm.
The Blades brothers. I'm trying to think.
Just Stylo says, like he referenced Bruce and Clay Matthews.
Yeah. Sharp brothers.
Don't sleep on the Grammaticas. Okay, they did that thing for a hot 2 years.
The only brothers that could get hurt celebrating. They make the kick and then they out for the season.
Yep, the Barbers. That's what I was saying. TK and Rondé Barber. I would go JJ Watt because JJ Watt could disrupt. I mean, TJ can disrupt from different parts of the line, but JJ Watt, you can line him up anywhere, and he's going to disrupt that O line.
I didn't even think of these guys since it's right now the Kelsey.
Oh, the Kelseys.
Yeah.
That's it.
And they everywhere. How do we not think of them? We on TV every second. We didn't even mention them.
Right.
I think it's because Travis doesn't have enough commercials, so he might need a couple more.
Sure.
That was
if Jason had a couple more podcasts, he would have been top of mind.
Yeah.
Wuthering Heights or whatever you call that thing.
That's funny. But yeah, so yeah, I think we all feel good about the Ravens this week. Just given the situation that they're in, they play better when their backs against the walls, and their backs are against the walls a little bit. They dropped too many games. Like, I mean, if we're being honest, we should be right there in a hunt for the number 1 seed. Right? We should be talking about number 1 and number 2. We started out that way. Lamar's played that way, and we just dropped games that we had no business dropping. You end up losing the game. You're like, what was that? What just happened? And it's not a we just got beat. It's not a hey, that team was just better than us. Hey, it just wasn't our day. It's just we look bad in those games. So now no more mistakes. It's no more no more bad days at the office. You have to be locked in because every team's gonna be locked in that we have to beat to get to the Super Bowl. So we have to show it now.
And a part of the problem there, and it's something we talked about early in the season, was the Ravens, they're not prepared for week 1. Like, just period, right? They don't play in the preseason. Obviously, they have an offensive line with nearly zero experience in 3 of the 5 spots. And so you go out there and, you played well against Kansas City, or, fairly well against Kansas City. Couldn't get the win there. Go out and give a very underwhelming performance against the Raiders and don't get the win there. Those 2 losses, those are coming back to haunt them now, right? If you're a little more prepared, if you had, maybe kept at least one of your guards on the O-line, kept a little bit of continuity there, maybe you come out of that 1-1, maybe you come out 2-0, and you're not worried so much about this particular game. And putting so much importance on this particular game at this point in the season.
Yeah. So I want to read this from Sean Coles. He says this game is going to come down to Lamar Jackson, not the defense. Harbaugh has to take control of this game. Sean, every game comes down to Lamar Jackson. I mean, what game do we say the defense has to win this one? Not a single game. Right now, the defense can play well, and if they have played well, I think they played well last time we played the Steelers. But we never put it on the defense in the Lamar Jackson era. It always comes down to Lamar Jackson having to win the game. Doesn't matter if the defense plays great or they play horribly, and they've done both this year. I can't even say they played great. They played well, and they played horribly. Didn't matter. The game comes down to Lamar Jackson in the end.
Mm-hmm. And, I'm not even certain that this one is going to – I mean, it always does, like you said, for the Ravens. But I think what will tell this game is Russell Wilson and whether or not he can avoid making those kind of Russell Wilson-like mistakes. I don't think that Najee Harris is really going to be able to get going. I'd like to think that the secondary will hold George Pickens in check. They don't really have a consistent number 2 guy at this point at wide receiver. And I think, like I said, if Owe can go out there and kind of give a repeat of his performance from their first game and make that crowd, that pocket uncomfortable for Russ, I think that Russ will give the game to Baltimore.
He's definitely due for a couple moon balls, right? He did it last week too.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely going to do that. That's just in his DNA to do that. We have to be able to capitalize. And it's time, man. It's time. Like, the talent is there on the defense. It's time for them to wake up. You've gone through enough of the season. You've made enough adjustments. I know it's Zach Orr's first year, but you've gone through enough of the season for the players to be able to communicate well and make plays. Like, it's time for that. I understand. People want to get on Zach Orr, which I think he's done a little bit better. As the season went along, but have to make plays.
Saying George Pickens not playing this week. Well, that's even better for Baltimore.
That is. Oh, thank you, Ali.
Appreciate
That's
it.
the best news I heard all day. Thank God. George Pickens is a problem.
Okay, well, Now Killer Cam says George is playing, so I don't know.
I know I didn't like you, Killer. Your name serves you correctly.
Well, my boy said something savage earlier. He said, and he mentioned the DJ, the Ravens DJ, by name on Instagram, and he said from quarter one on, play nothing but Future. We talking Commas, March Madness. What's the new joint he got out with Kendrick?
Like that.
Like that. Yeah.
Like that.
You need to hear some like that. Commas. You can go back to trophies. I don't care what it is, man.
Bump Scoop Cam.
Yeah.
Bump Scoop Cam. Now he's saying it will be a game time decision.
Come on,
Killer.
We need Adam Schefter level reporting here.
Suge says here that Russ did not turn the ball over last week. Yes, he did, Suge.
I didn't. Bump Scoop Suge. And I was talking about his moonball passes. I know he made another one of those passes last week. That's what I was referring to. He'll give you the opportunities. Did he have an interception?
He didn't have an interception. He lost a fumble.
Yeah, fumble. Yeah.
And now Suge is letting me know that Pickens did, in fact, practice today. So thank you very much, Suge. Appreciate that. TJ Watt, George Pickens, and Deshaun Elliott all practicing today. Ravens fans shaking. That's the tweet that I
got. Not so much about Deshaun Elliott, but the other two, yeah.
I'm looking at the box score. It says he fumbled the ball. He lost a fumble.
Yeah, he lost a fumble. Suge. He fumbled. He turned it over. It's fine. This should not be it. This should not be something that you get on the overtime show and want to argue with for half an hour. All right. He turned the ball over. That's not a surprise coming from Russell Wilson.
Not according to the stats.
I know what play you're talking about. It is a fumble by Russell Wilson. Mm-hmm. It is a fumble. It was a backwards pass. That's credited to Russell Wilson. Yep, he did fumble. Sorry, Suge. Yep. It was a pass. The pass was going behind Najee Harris, and he tried to reel it in, but he didn't, and it was a fumble. But that's on Russell Wilson, not Najee. I'm sorry. What are you saying, Adrian? I cut you off.
I was saying that they played like garbage last week too. I hope the Pittsburgh that showed up against Philly shows up against us, because if that's the team we got to see this week, it ain't gonna be close, But we always seem to play down to the competition. And the Steelers, we play down to them every time we play them. So, of course, it's going to be a one-score game. What are we favored? Are we favored by what? 2.5? I bet you were favored by like 2.5 points.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have the line. I'm not.
But Suge says, "Stop it. That's not on Russ." Suge,
it's a turnover.
Turn your emotions down a notch, okay? I'm not saying. I mean, first of all, it was a bad pass, but I wasn't even saying it's his fault. I'm saying the turnover is credited to Russell Wilson. It's a fumble on Russell Wilson. Yeah, officially. That's what I mean.
Suge, watch Lamar's 3 interceptions this year. None of them were on Lamar. That one to Justice Hill where the Pittsburgh linebacker just ripped it out of his arm, somehow was credited as an interception on Lamar. Another one was a bounce pass right off of receiver's chest. I can't remember the third one, but Lamar really should have 0 interceptions on the season. But as a quarterback, if the ball's turned over and you threw the pass, it's an interception. It is what it is. If it's a backwards pass, it's a fumble.
The line open at 6. There you go.
At 6? Oh man, I don't trust it. Not at all. It's gonna be down. It's gonna be down to 3 by Friday.
Probably
3.5, maybe.
Yeah. So, all right. So look, we have a couple more 80 people in here too, man. Salute to y'all. Hit that like button if you're new in here. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. All right. We trying to grow in these streets, okay? And we have a lot of content coming up. We know you're gonna like it. Make sure you support, share it with your friends, family, and loved ones. Fernando Montero says Pickens and Elliott did not practice today. We're getting all kinds of conflicting reports here.
Incredible.
Okay, we need to get to the bottom of this. Fernando, you look like a trustworthy person, and I like the news that you're bringing here. So I'm going to say this is valid.
Thank you, Fernando.
Thank you, Fernando.
All right. Keeping with the Ravens theme, because they do have issues other than the Pittsburgh Steelers in front of them on Saturday, followed up, a couple days later by the Houston Texans on Christmas. They've got issues in their own locker room, right, with Diontae Johnson. Mm-hmm. And I know that a lot of people don't really think about it as an issue, but with Ronnie Stanley. Different kinds of issues, obviously. Diontae Johnson, he's a very talented player who is just kind of refusing to play, and they're kind of at odds on whether he should be around. They've officially just they've excused him from all team activities. So we kind of have to wait and see how that resolves itself. I think it's pretty asinine for a team like Baltimore, who has historically lacked in wide receiver talent. And also you've seen some of the players who are currently on your roster, who you're going to be counting on, failed you in the playoffs previously, to just kind of toss aside a talent like Diontae Johnson. As far as Ronnie Stanley, Ronnie Stanley has turned things around from his last couple of injury-riddled seasons, mostly on the team itself for not allowing him to sit out and get fully healthy. But Ronnie Stanley is going to hit free agency. I believe he's with 31, and he's going to be potentially the top left tackle on the market. And he is going to get a massive payday if he wants it.
He turns 31 in March. And this is what we warned you guys last year, because a lot of people were like, "Oh, Ronnie he's got to go. Cut Ronnie. He looks washed. He's washed." And we said, "Hey, man, he's hurt." And when you don't give somebody, especially a lineman, opportunity, some time to heal, and he's got to play through injuries, he's not going to play his best, especially in today's NFL. A lot of great edge rushers, just defensive linemen. And it was a cautionary tale. We learned that from watching Washington mess things up with Trent Williams. And as soon as he left, got healthy, he's the best left tackle in the league for the 49ers. And shout out to KP for the donation. Can you pull that up, B?
Yeah, let me grab the comment here. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, but I'll keep on about Ronnie Stanley. But too young to say he's washed. You gotta give him a whole season healthy. Now, what they did was make it even worse by restructuring his deal and saying, "Hey, game by game basis, essentially, you get paid for the games that you played." Well, not only did he play every game so far, he's playing at a high level, and now, like I said it before, if I'm Ronnie Stanley, you're gonna pay me. You're gonna make me the highest paid left tackle, or I'm out.
Yeah.
And what are you going to do if you're Baltimore? You're not going to pay it?
Right.
Yes, you are.
And so thank you to KB for the donation. He says, off topic, but I've seen Bills fans call the MVP a DEI award and meaningless award after Lamar won it. But now they're excited that Josh Allen is getting it. You can't make this up. Also, it's crazy how he's winning by a landslide when Lamar clears him stats-wise.
I mean, we know what that. I mean, DEI is another dog whistle. Same thing when people say too woke, or when they say, what were they saying before DEI? It was I forget the term they called it.
Welfare queen.
Yeah, welfare queen. Affirmative action. Like when people mention these things, that's a dog whistle. Those are white people that have a problem with a black person getting something ahead of them because they feel like they deserve it.
Reverse racism.
Yeah. Things like that. So CRT, critical race theory, stuff like that. When you hear people will talk about that, that's a trope. Don't fall for that.
States' rights.
Yeah. Yeah, my best friend is black, things like that. So, all right, are we bringing Ferris on?
We are indeed.
All right, Ferris.
It's gonna be a surprise until you said something.
Oh, I mean, I see him. I see you getting him ready to go. But what's up, Ferris?
How's everybody?
What's going on,
Ferris? Yes.
I'ma need a day off. I think I call Ferris up.
Ferris gets you every time with the little pause. The little pause.
I can't see you overlaid him over the.
I did. I'll have to fix that. But let me pull up that comment. That was a $15 donation from JM. Refund plus interest.
Okay. I'm not sure what you meant by that.
I know what that is. That's ridiculous.
What?
That's from our guy Hendo, aka Jedi Mac.
Oh.
Shout
out to Hendo, man. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. See, this is what I'm talking about. You guys are working the super chats. You're working the donations, the ones that we prefer. But we appreciate all donations. Thank you very much. Says, what's up, Ferris? Your Giants still suck. Wow, Noah, that's aggressive.
It was all happy holidays a few minutes ago, man.
I know. Sheesh.
I'm not gonna disagree.
Oh Lord. Yeah. So
good night, Sean. Thanks for coming through.
Good night, Sean. So Ronnie Stanley, obviously, like you said, the Ravens have not done the work to be able to let him go. Right? They haven't gone about bringing in any tackles that could potentially be that left tackle of the future. They haven't been developing anybody for that spot. And if you think, hey, maybe they could just move Rosengarten over, then they don't have a right tackle, right? That's long been
or
a
left
major weakness of Eric DaCosta. I don't know why he thinks NFL football teams don't need tackles, but that's kind of been his thing since he's been the GM in Baltimore. They're going to be at the mercy of Ronnie Stanley, and maybe he'll take a team friendly deal. Maybe he's into that. Maybe he's like, yeah, no, just give me a fair market deal, and I'm not going to hold your feet to the fire, but maybe he'll be like Laremy Tunsil, since you kind of screwed him over the last couple of years by not letting him get healthy, and he'll just say, you're going to make me the highest paid tackle by a wide margin. Otherwise, I'm leaving.
Mm-hmm. As a Ravens fan, I advocate for that. Okay, like there's no way I would want Ronnie Stanley to take a team friendly deal. Get all the money you possibly can out of this organization or elsewhere. Get paid. When you sacrifice your body for a team like this, they should reward you. But instead, they restructured your deal. On a prove it year. So hey, if your body doesn't hold up, even though we participated in breaking it down, we don't have to pay you. All right, cool. Well, you gambled. It paid off for me. Didn't pay off for you. Now you're gonna have to pay me all the money. And they're ridiculous for not even trying to extend him now. Right? I mean, maybe they are quietly. They just haven't worked anything out. I wouldn't work it out, but they should be doing everything possible. Like, make him the highest paid offensive lineman right now, so he doesn't even hit the market. Because if they don't sign him, Rosengarten ain't the answer, and there is no answer. It's a wrap.
Yeah. Ferris, how you feeling about the Ravens Steelers matchup this Saturday?
Every time I always pick the Ravens to win, right? Because I see the discrepancy in talent, mostly in the quarterback situation. But I've gotten burned one too many times. I'm going Pittsburgh because of one key factor that always trumps everything from talent to anything. It's Mike Tomlin against John Harbaugh. He owns him.
He does.
He owns him. And and Mike Tomlin, very professional guy, he revels in it. I have caught that man smiling on the sideline as he's beating this man down. He enjoys beating John Harbaugh. He enjoys beating the Ravens. He loses to Cleveland on occasion. He sometimes gets beat down by Cincinnati. But there's one thing Mike Tomlin will never, ever, ever let happen is to allow that man in Baltimore any happiness or any shot of thinking that he's better than him, because he's not. If you think about it, it's just not happening, really.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because I guarantee you swap coaches, y'all would have 2 Super Bowls by now. Y'all have 2 Super Bowls right now.
I can't disagree with that.
You know, like let's be real. Like, you have 2 Super Bowls right now. And here's the thing, too, about, you know, Mike Tomlin. Like, he's the coach, and he doesn't really have that much power, you know, because, like, the way Pittsburgh does it, it's definitely, like, 3 levels of power, right? There's the owners, the Roonies, then there's the GM office, then there's the coaches. You know what I mean? And, like, and they broke it up after Chuck Noll left, because Chuck was kind of GM and coach. But when Bill Cowher was there and Mike Tomlin, it's 3 levels of it. And just the way player management. Who here knew anything about how the wide receivers in Pittsburgh were crazy? Who knew this? Who knew that they were all psychopaths? Like, who knew? No one knew. Because Mike Tomlin knew how to operate that. And then when they leave Pittsburgh, everyone finds out they're all cuckoo in the brain. Looney Tunes. No one knew, you know what I mean? You know?
Yeah.
Antonio Brown was the best receiver in the game. Everyone's like, this man is great. Leaves, everyone's like, this man is a psycho. Martavius Bryant can't stop smoking weed. Now he's in Canada. Diontae Johnson. Look where his career is.
He's just fine. He's on one of the top teams in the AFC.
Well, he's one of the top. Well, he's one of the topics tonight too. Ferris, like
Mike Wallace, Emmanuel Sanders, fine. There's exceptions, but how many other receivers that we, you know what I mean? There's 2. You gave me 2 examples, Killer Cam. 2.
How do you feel about Diontae Johnson's situation right now?
Y'all completely botched this situation. Someone told me, and I think this is probably more correct, they traded for him not because they wanted him. They traded for him so Buffalo and the Chiefs couldn't have him. You know what I mean?
That's not true, because
could it not be
Buffalo
true?
had already traded for Amari Cooper before we picked up Diontae Johnson. The Chiefs already traded for DeAndre Hopkins before we picked up Diontae Johnson.
No, but they're interested in Diontae Johnson as well. Because they've lost multiple receivers. They lost Hollywood, they lost Rashee Rice, so they were interested in, I think probably still are, in bringing in another receiver if possible. But I think it's more about Pittsburgh, but it's also about the Chiefs as well.
Yeah, because like let's be real here, man. Like someone brought up the Devondre Campbell situation in San Francisco, and someone said, "Oh, it's similar in Baltimore." I was like, "No, it's not similar." Campbell quit. He quit on them in 3rd quarter, and no offense to you, my guy, the guy that they replaced you with is better than you. And he was coming off of an Achilles, and he's better than you. DeAndre Johnson's probably like, you traded for me either for 2 reasons. You think I'm better than your receivers right now, or what? Like, it's like, what it was like 2 minutes left in the game, and you telling me to go out there? I'm like, bro, like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Either you play me, you don't play me. Devondre Campbell had an entire season to prove to people that you were somewhat competent. And the first instance that Dre Greenlaw showed up, the first instance, they're like, Dre, you're starting right away, because they knew this man sucks, and he doesn't fit with Fred. And you crying in the 3rd quarter because Dre needed a break, and you're like, I don't want to go in the game.
And it's a close game, and you need that game.
Exactly. So it's a different situation.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand, man. You gotta play the guy. Play him.
But why does he get to choose when he goes in the game, though, man? Like, I don't care if it's 2 seconds in the game. You get paid to play a kid's game. Go in the game, bro. What is wrong with you, man?
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with either one of you. Like, yes, 2 minutes left in the game, man. You got to get out there. You don't say, no, I'm not getting in the game. You got to get out there. So he's not without fault in this.
I can see that.
But I put more of it on the organization, because you're messing with his career. He's in a contract year. This is his last shot to get a a big contract. This is probably the last, big opportunity to get a nice contract. So he was looking to leave the Panthers, so he have a better opportunity. And you're not playing him at all. And to put him out there for the last 2 minutes, what's that going to do for him? You know what I'm saying? So I understand the frustration on his part. He still should have went out there. But no, man, you're messing with a guy's career. And he's showing you he's not happy, and you still have him on the team. So he didn't want to go out there and play. You suspend him, and then this week he's not practicing with you guys. Why do you have him on the team? Just let him go. You made a bad choice. He clearly doesn't want to be there. Stop holding him hostage.
No, this is how I feel. If they don't cut him after this week, they need to keep him on their team throughout the playoffs, because it's unfair to hold him against his will if he doesn't want to be here and you don't want him here, because then you're just holding him to punish him at that point. So I do
If you
agree.
keep him, do you play him?
I think it's. I don't
play
understand
him.
why you. I don't understand why you
play.
go get him if you didn't want to play. If you didn't want to
That's my
play him,
thing.
that's a general manager, head coach situation of them not being on the same page, because the GM obviously sees a need at wide receiver. DeCosta sees Johnson available. He goes and gets him. Did he not converse with Harbaugh before making this decision? Because Harbaugh's obviously, he's like, this is my team. I like the guys I got. I'm gonna keep going with the guys I've been rolling with. But you don't get a guy like Diontae Johnson this late in the season and put him on the bench. That's
And
not
I think
fair.
no, and I think this is where Eric DeCosta says to Steve Bisciotti, I can't work with this dude. There's a need at receiver. I got him a receiver, and he threw the receiver back home. What's up with this? This man needs to go. He thinks he's Jim.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Guess what, homie? It's not 2011 anymore. Last time I checked, it's 2024. It's time for you to go. We need receivers. Everybody knows you need receivers. Your fans know. I know everyone, and I get you one, and you don't play him. And if you're Eric DeCosta, I'm gonna defend the guy right now. You'd be like, dude, I can't work with this dude. I gave him a weapon. I gave my star QB a weapon that is needed. And he threw him to the doghouse for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
For no reason. I can't work with this dude. He needs to go.
But also, this is something I also felt could have happened. Lamar's supposed to be pulling Diontae Johnson aside, getting him up to speed with that offense if he feels like he's the caliber of receiver that can help him win. And then in those press conferences, he needs to be speaking that man's name and saying that he needs him on the field. Like, I don't understand why these guys get paid and then they can't say anything. They can't toe the company. They got to toe the company line. They got to always be complimentary of the organization. They can't say anything that ruffles anybody's feathers. And what line of work does that work? Where you can never piss off your bosses. You can never have a disagreement with them. You can never have any type of friction. Because I think it typically takes some level of friction in order to get to that next level.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's friction, and then there's airing things out in public, right? Like, yeah, I'm sure that they say things behind closed doors, and no team, and this isn't just a John Harbaugh thing. There are 32 teams in the NFL. 0 of them want any of their players airing out any issues in press conferences. At that point, it's out of your hands. Once you say something to the media, then they're talking about it. It's on social media. Your fans are talking about it, and then all of your players are talking about it nonstop all week, whether they want to or not. The thing with Diontae Johnson, yeah, it's poor coaching. It's poor planning from the front office. You don't call John and say, "Hey, you want Diontae Johnson on the team?" And if he's saying no, why are you trading for him anyway? If he's saying yes, why aren't you putting him in the game? Right?
Yeah.
But we know about John Harbaugh that he likes his guys, and he doesn't want to be forced into playing anybody that he doesn't want on the field. And that's why we had the entire offseason discussion about, and even at the end of last season, about going and getting a name like Derrick Henry or Saquon Barkley. Go trade for a name like Davante Adams, because that makes it much harder for John Harbaugh to keep that player on the bench. He can keep a Diontae Johnson on the bench. Most people don't respect Diontae Johnson like that.
The only reason Derrick Henry is getting as many carries as he is now is because he broke out early, right? The plan, this is from Harbaugh's mouth himself. He wasn't planning on giving him more than 15 carries a game. Like, they weren't planning on giving him a lot of carries each game, right? Because he's older and they figure he's slowing down and we want to preserve him. So they weren't planning on running him, but he broke out. He's having one of his best seasons of his career. So you have to keep feeding him the ball. Great players do that. When you have a great player, they can't be denied the ball. You have to game plan for them, whether you want them in the game plan or not, or you think they fit your scheme or not. That's why we're always clamoring for a big name player to come here, because we don't have a situation like this where Diontae Johnson isn't getting the game, where he clearly deserves to be. He's good enough to get in the game, and you're just holding him out for coaching reasons, for Harbaugh reasons, right? You can't do that if you have T. Higgins on the team.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. You can't do that if you have a Justin Jefferson. Not saying that we could have gotten him, but I'm saying, like, if you have like a top level type of receiver on the team. I mean, in the draft. I'm talking about like via trade, but like, if you have a top level wide receiver on the team that's established and you know what they can do, and they go out there and they show it, can't deny them. That's why it's important to have those players on the team.
Yeah, because also too, you gotta specify, like, the more I'm watching it, you guys, he goes after a specific receiver. Mm-hmm. It's there's two types of receivers. There's T.O., who are loud, boisterous, dance, have fun, call out people, Ocho Cinco type receivers. And then there's those quiet, just quiet, go to work. They've probably killed a man, Andre Johnson type receivers. It's one of them. He goes to that guy, like Anquan Bolden. Anquan Bolden was one of the best receivers in the league, him and Larry. He goes to Baltimore. They tell him to do a job. He does his job. He doesn't complain. And John like those type of receivers who just don't say nothing. You know what I mean? But guess what? Nowadays, modern days, that receiver don't exist no more. Because receivers are like, hey, man, don't play with me. Don't play with me.
I think it's always been that way. I think receivers do like that exist. It's just, there are only a handful of
they're not in Baltimore
guys that have that level of talent to begin with. Mm-hmm. Right? And some of them are going to be divas, some of them are not. Mike Evans don't talk. He's
right.
been
he fights Marshawn Lattimore every week.
I mean, he don't play him every week, all right? Twice a year. Twice a year they have standing.
Not anymore, man. I miss those days.
But no, Mike Evans is a first ballot Hall of Fame type receiver, and he don't talk at all, right? In Baltimore, yeah, he wants that specifically because he knows that even though they could get the ball to a receiver like that as often as they want, they're not going to. They're going to make a choice to not do it.
And they're not going to outwardly complain about it. You know what I mean? Like, they're just not. Like someone brought up where he said, if you're worried about yards and targets, don't come here. Who says that to potential wide receivers? Who thinks that's a good business model?
One of the worst lines I've ever heard from him.
You basically just said he spit in every receiver's face, basically.
Yeah, did he? Can somebody verify that he actually said that?
Oh, he did.
Yeah,
he said it comments.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the whole. Oh yeah. If you're just worried about your stats and all that stuff, this ain't. He didn't say flat say like don't come to Baltimore. But pretty much that's what he said. He's like if you
he said we don't
play AC football. Yeah.
What
he said. He said if you're worried about your stats, we could you can join. There are other teams you can join. And we look forward to playing against you or something like that.
It basically said, "Don't come here."
Yeah,
it's like, "Don't come here." I'm like, we don't want you. And that's literally.
I never wanted him fired more than that moment right there.
Right.
Like, who does that, man? Like, y'all need a new head coach. I need a new team. You know what I mean? It's just all bad. It's all bad.
Well, I hate to break this to you, Ferris, but it's about to get worse because we're doing court of public opinion, and boy, oh boy.
I'm not a Jets fan.
No, but you're a sports fan, and this guy hurts everybody's brain just listening to him.
Can't believe you went to Cal. That's crazy.
Okay, all right. So we'll save it for a court of public opinion. Adrian, you got your gavel? Get your gavel ready, ladies and gentlemen.
Hold on.
Okay. All right. Well, we can switch scenes. Let Adrian find his gavel, ladies and gentlemen. There it is, right there. All right. This may not be a real court, but it is the only court that you need. Court of public opinion is about to begin.
It's gonna begin in a minute or so when I.
Because you gotta put Ferris in. I thought we had a 4-person
properly here. No.
Okay. All right.
I realized I didn't have shown me the money.
Hold on. Order, sir. Order, please. Okay. Yes, we haven't begun yet.
What is going on?
Just Alo's definitely gonna get kicked out of jury selection.
All right. Hendo says, "Come to the light side, Ferris."
Why would I become a Ravens fan? Y'all are always angry as well.
Every fan base is angry.
Yeah, but y'all are sad though. We just angry.
Exactly. Buffalo. They're sad, but they also have fun sometimes.
Oh, what? Jumping through tables?
God
But
damn.
naked in the snow? They don't wear any clothes in the snow. They're happy.
Had to shove out their own seats? Yay, that's fun.
That's true.
24 inches on Sunday, yes.
I mean, is there any fan base that just be like just has fun watching their team win or lose?
Green Bay.
Green Bay, Green Bay hasn't lost in years. That's the problem.
They lose all the time. They haven't won a Super Bowl in 15 years at least.
Yeah, I know, but like they're not like bad or like or irritating. Like y'all are irritated with y'all team because of like the way the team operates. Green Bay fans, they actually like love
Time out. Every fan base gets irritated with their coaching staff and players and GMs. Like that is a natural thing. New York fans are angry, man. They're like not just the Giants, Knicks fans too. I remember I caught an Uber one time, and yes, this one particular time that I'm talking about. I didn't say I caught an Uber. It didn't happen every single time I've caught an Uber. Okay, I caught an Uber this one time, and the guy picked me up, clearly from New York, right? You hear the accent. I was like, hey, I was like, you from New York? He's like, yeah, man. I mentioned, I mean, we're talking, joking, cool guy. I mentioned the Knicks. This man started sweating.
What year was this?
This was Melo was still playing for the team because he hated Melo. He's like, yo, let me tell you something. Every time Melo gets in the game, we lose. Yo, he turned over the ball. Blah, 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 blah. I was like, damn, man. I just said, all I said is something like, oh, so you like the Knicks? Or I was like, oh, yeah, the Knicks ain't doing that well right now, or something like that. He went from smiling, and this dude was literally sweating and started yelling. I was like, dang, you were holding that in. You were waiting for me to ask.
He was blaming Melo? That's how I know he don't know nothing.
That's how I know that's most of the Knicks fan base, though.
Hey, yes. Watch yourself, dog. Watch yourself. You're a Lakers fan. Have y'all don't know. I'll just be like, ooh, shiny trophy.
You see how angry he was? He just talked over the stinger.
Oh, sorry.
I guess we're ready now. Order. All rise. Court is now in session. All right, we got the scene set up here. Ferris is here joining us. So, what do we have here, B?
You can see it right there at the bottom. Aaron Rodgers versus reality again. Aaron Rodgers came out and he made some comments about the way the media is going and how a lot of these players and pundits, they think that they're the celebrities now, and even guys who didn't have very good careers, they come in and they think they're stars and all this stuff. And Ryan Clark responded, and he responded by calling Aaron Rodgers a fraud. and a hypocrite because he was on a show with guys who were doing that very thing that he was complaining about because he's on with Pat McAfee, who was a punter. I mean, he was
AJ
a good
Hawk,
punter. He was a good punter, but obviously he's a much bigger star as a media member. AJ Hawk, who was, AJ Hawk, who was, he was an all right linebacker.
He was the other linebacker in Green Bay.
Yeah, and now he's the other guy on the Pat McAfee show. So yeah, he called him a fraud. He called him all this stuff, and essentially he just said, you're wrong, Aaron, and you're upset because you aren't the player that you used to be, and people are saying it now. And then Aaron Rodgers, he didn't appreciate that very much, and Aaron had some things to say. I'm going to read some quotes towards the end of his rant. He says, this is when Pat McAfee tried to jump in when Aaron was going on his rant. He said, "I'm not done yet." He says,
PSA. He said, I have a PSA.
It's a quick PSA reminder. He says, "Say whatever the expletive you want about me. I don't care. But just before you do it, whether you state your name, your accolades, pronouns, whatever it is, just state your vaccination status so that anything you say afterwards gets put in the right light. Just get it out there. Then when you say things about me, people can at least be like, oh, you're captured by the multi-million-dollar propaganda Skyhawk and you're still upset about it. Just so everybody knows where you're coming from. Everybody knows, okay, cool, you're twice vaccinated with Moderna and with 3 booster shots, and then say whatever you want to say, whatever."
Like, he thought he was cooking with that line. He said, you know what? You got vaxxed. You're not even real anymore. You're a clone. You're not a real person. Before you can question me, I need to know, were you vaxxed, sir? Because if you were vaxxed, you can't even.
Well, he says it. He says
hold
a
conversation with me.
He says, and you know where it's all coming from. You're captured. You're highly vaccinated, and then say whatever the hell you want to say about me because I couldn't give 2 expletives about it. Aaron Rodgers has absolutely lost his mind.
No, like, it does make sense why he went to Cal. Makes sense.
He's always been a diva and a bit of a narcissist, but he's just straight up insane now. And it's unfortunate to see.
And Ryan Clark had like a 4-minute response to that. We kind of went into, just going further in, just saying, hey, look, you don't like that, that you get criticized and you're questioning people, whatever. And he just kind of, laying out his accolades and, success he's had, on the pivot and whatnot. And all. I don't think he needed to go that far into it, because that comment right there is just gibberish, right? It comes from a man who thinks he's way smarter than he really is, and he just sounds like an idiot. He sounds, like we said, like insane. You don't have to really go that deep into it and respond to it. Now, if he says something, that's taking a little bit more. I mean, he did take shots at Ryan Clark, so I get it, but it wasn't that deep, and you don't have to go that deep into reading off your resume, Ryan Clark. All you have to say is, bro, your own family hates you. That's it. And that's not me. And that's not hyperbole. That's not me, exaggerating it. His family does not talk to him. All you have to say is, bro, your own family don't even like you. What are we talking about here?
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, man. I did not know that's where you were gonna go with those things.
Oh, and you got replaced by Patrick Mahomes. You can't even discount double check no more.
Yeah.
You're a bum, you're a loser, you're nothing. And
Also, dude, that's funny too. Is like, your ex-girlfriend has done a press tour talking about how like you're like the worst thing that happened to her life. Like my life was horrible with him. I was in a dark place. I did like everything he touches turns rotten. Like literally, and Clark also got mad at McAfee because McAfee apparently jumped in and said, I think called Clark like a loser or like a something.
Yeah,
like that.
I saw him tweet something about that. How he's like, hey, I wasn't even. He said I didn't mention anything about Pat McAfee. Like disparaging. He's like, we can fix this with the phone call because it wasn't about him. It was clearly about Aaron Rodgers.
Mhm.
Look, Pat McAfee going to take Aaron Rodgers' side, man. Like, he's like, look, he's my paid friend. All right, I pay him $1 million per show. So look, man, like, I gotta ride for him. Like, I can't let these millions of dollars go down the drain for nothing. I gotta stick up for him.
Well,
Now, go ahead.
The worst money ESPN ever spent was whatever the hell they gave Pat McAfee when they fired countless other hosts on that platform. One of them was my boy Jalen Rose. I miss him on that network.
Yeah,
and
On TNT now.
But I still miss the show that he had on ESPN with
Jalen
who
and
was it?
Jacoby.
Brian Russillo. That was a good show. He used to come on like, "What up, though?" Jalen was dope on there. Van Gundy got fired. I love Van Gundy on NBA games on the sideline. A bunch of other hosts got fired. Max Kellerman lost his job, and that was mainly because Stephen A. left him out to dry when he kicked him off First Take, and then he was kind of low hanging fruit when they wanted to bring Pat in, and they gave him this crazy contract. I don't know, it was $15 million a year. He ain't bringing that type of value to that network because they thinking that all they have to do is record a podcast and it's going to do the same thing on a network that it does on the internet. And that's how you know that these networks are so out of touch with reality. Podcasts live on the internet. They're not for TV, bro. You know what I mean? If that was the case, all of these podcasts should just be on TV. Might as well put Drink Champs on BET then. We can watch every episode.
They probably should, yeah.
They probably should, right?
Oh no, my bad. It's on Revolt. It's on Revolt.
I'm giving people free ideas right now. I shouldn't be doing this, But my whole point is, Pat McAfee is not all that great at what he does, but I respect him in the platform that he has built. However, Aaron Rodgers is a hypocrite because there are a bunch of Pat McAfees and Dan Orlovsky's and mediocre players, mostly of the fairer complexion, that are able to get on 10 years after their career and become bigger than they ever were when they were in the NFL, NBA. That's not what a brother got to be Shaq, Charles Barkley, Dwayne Wade. You got to be that level of brother to have a post career in television and elevate. There's rare that you get a brother like a Ryan Clark, who was a solid role player and then is able to ascend to greater heights.
He was pretty good for a stretch.
Ryan Hollins was there.
It's some brothers
for a short stint.
It's some brothers that were solid players.
Fox has an entire show of people like that.
All right. Hold on. I gotta address Attitude Pop here because Attitude Pop is taking Aaron Rodgers' side.
Attitude Pop need to take a break, man. Like he had a rough 24 hours with his opinions.
He said he's with Aaron. He's not going for a dude who said Kyler on the Ravens would win the Super Bowl. I'm going for the dude who supports my QB and goes to bat for him, not someone who goes against his kind. You're making no sense right there. This had nothing to do with Kyler Murray. Had nothing to do with the Ravens. It had to do with the fact that Aaron Rodgers does not want to accept the fact that he is washed, which he is. And all they're saying is he's not the player that he was anymore, which is true. So you don't have to like Ryan Clark. What he said was true there. He says Aaron's family don't hate him. Aaron's the one who doesn't talk to them. False. I'm reading this right now from people. Let's see. The family feud first came to light when Aaron's younger brother Jordan appeared on Joe Fletcher's season of The Bachelorette, revealing that Aaron had distanced himself from the family. In the Netflix docuseries, Aaron claimed that he was never invited to the hometown dinner. So it's conflicting stories. One brother saying he distanced himself, the other one saying, hey, they're the ones that kind of shut me out. And then it says something about there was some feud between the brothers and the parents got in between it. Yes, a source later told people that their feud stemmed from a lifelong sibling rivalry which came to head after a blow up between the brothers caused the parents to get in the middle of it. So no, he didn't just say, hey, you know what, you guys suck.
He wasn't living in a cupboard under the steps. He's a narcissist. Yes. And he thinks that if anybody who doesn't think the way he does, anybody who doesn't agree with him is against him. You can believe Aaron's family is bad people, but just like what we were talking about yesterday, Attitude Pop, you don't know a single one of them, and you don't know anything about any of them.
And also, this part right here is also false, and Ryan Clark also alluded to that today. He said, "Attitude Pop says stop hating on Aaron Rodgers. People like him, maybe sometimes not in the locker room, but all his friends and teammates always say he's a good person and off the field." On and off the field, and how he helped them. That is not true.
You conflicted yourself in your own statement right there, man. Like, you can't say
Jennings don't like him.
Maybe sometimes not in the locker room, but all his teammates. His teammates are the ones in the locker room.
And Ryan Clark, who talks to these players, who knows these players, said that ain't the case. He said, my opinion of you is shaped by the players who played with you.
Yeah, so, Greg Jennings didn't have a good thing to say about him. Apparently, Donald Driver didn't either.
That's why everybody's friends are going to go to bat for them. Like, that's what friends do. The Pounceys went to bat for Aaron Hernandez. Is he a good person too, or was he a good person?
Man, right. I saw that back in the day when Sprewell choked out Carlissimo. Half of the Warriors showed up to support that man. Put that job.
Well, he was justified.
He choked their head coach in front of them.
Yeah, he was right though.
He might have. I have a little insider information on that. He might have had that coming.
That's
he might have had that one coming.
Spiro was correct. That's what I'm saying. Spiro.
But that was correct. My greater point is that's a lot to support. I see Aaron Rodgers throw people under the bus. He threw Mike Williams under the bus this season because he dropped the touchdown pass. And next thing you know, like a week later, Mike Williams was traded to Pittsburgh. He gets Devontae Adams, and they go on to lose like 5 more games in a row. And then he never takes any accountability and says, maybe I'm not playing well. He said, the team has to play better. Bro, you need to play better. You have not been good since Obama was in office.
No, that's the thing right there.
We're not going to stop hating on a dude who gets paid to go on to one of the biggest networks in existence and then talks about how he's being censored while he's on said network spreading nothing but misinformation. We're not going to stop hating on that.
Also, too, he literally, they just said he's not as good as he used to be. He's not. That's just fact. We watch the games. He's not. The Jets suck.
I'm sorry. Hold up, Harris. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Attitude Pop. He says, James Jones always says good things about Aaron. You can't hate on someone you don't even know in real life. Meet the man and get to know him. Weren't you hating on Travis Hunter's girlfriend yesterday? When did you meet her? When did you meet Travis Hunter's girlfriend?
Look, Attitude Pop, you like Aaron Rodgers. I don't know why.
When you say, Mike Williams isn't his friend, you have to be only his friends' opinions matter? No one else? Then everybody's a good person, Attitude Pop. If only your friends' opinions count.
You don't go to work. You're not friends with everybody at work, are you?
Well, wait. Why do you value the opinion of his friends and not his family? His family doesn't like him, right? Like you haven't refuted my initial statement of his family doesn't like him. So why do you value the opinion of people you perceive to be his friends and not his actual family? He's a terrible person. What about the person that was dating him that's out there now saying
he was a terrible person?
They ruined my life. Right? She doesn't count, huh?
No. Don't do this. What red flag? You don't know her. Don't talk about red flags. You don't know anything about her.
Wait,
why don't you ask some of her friends what kind of a person she is? Because that's all that matters, Attitude Pop.
Listen, look, I don't want to pick on Attitude Pop, man. I tease him enough.
I do.
But yes. Attitude Pop's a man. He's 19. Okay. Attitude Pop, you don't have enough life experience.
I'm 40.
He's a man. He's 19, and I'm sorry, man. Like, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be the old head, man. But you don't have enough life experience to speak on that, man. I know YouTube. I know where that comes from. YouTube will kind of channel you towards those channels that give you terrible relationship advice. It's entertaining, it's funny to look at, but you cannot follow that advice. They are leading you down the wrong path. You don't know what you're talking about when it comes to that. We'll talk more about that.
Pop, you can't hate your family for no reason. I hate my cousin for no reason.
Listen, I love y'all, man, but I know I'm right sometimes. We love you too, and you are right sometimes. Just
you
not,
right
not when you're talking about
the
dynamics of relationships that you haven't experienced, and you're making these generalizations about people that you don't know.
We're gonna break this down more. Put the poll up. Put the poll up.
See, yeah, like
Attitude Pop, I'm banning you from voting in this poll. I don't want to see a 1 on Aaron Rodgers side.
He gonna come in here with a bunch of burner accounts to vote up Aaron Rodgers.
If you think that Aaron Rodgers is correct, that you should announce your vaccination status before you speak on him, and that people should not be in the media talking about the things that they're paid to talk about, hashtag Aaron. If you think that Ryan Clark is correct, that Aaron Rodgers is a fraud and a hypocrite, hashtag Ryan.
Because
I used to be such a big Aaron Rodgers fan too.
I used to too.
Me too.
Actually,
he's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Yeah, he's not.
It's okay.
Cat.
Yeah, he's not one of the greatest quarterbacks.
Yes, he is.
No, he's an overrated bum. And you know what? I hate the fact that Kyrie Irving had to lose half a season because he was unvaccinated, but Aaron Rodgers kept saying, "I'm immunized." Lying. Oh, because he didn't want to say he was vaccinated because he wasn't. I'm immunized. What the hell does that mean?
Listen, you can't take it away from them. They're separate issues. He is one of the greatest of all time. Just like Brett Favre is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. He's a terrible person too.
Mm-hmm. All right,
Ben Roethlisberger, the Hall of Fame quarterback. Ben Roethlisberger, a rapist.
Hey man, let's talk about it, man.
They're different. They're separate.
Why does this happen every show?
No.
Big
okay.
Reg, this does not count.
Can I respond to this? Can I respond to this?
Respond to what?
Respond to this dude's stupidity. Can I respond to him real quick?
Daniel Lavsky's a friend of the show.
No, I'm talking about Reg. Reg.
Oh, well, I'm just talking about following rules. I'm talking about following the rules. This will not show up on the poll, Big Reg.
No, he's trying to be. Let me tell you something about Dan Orlovsky's stupid ass. Let me tell you how dumb he is. This man was asked about UConn women's basketball. He was like, them girls be hooping. You went to UConn while they were winning national titles. You didn't know this? Oh, yeah, I know why you didn't know this, because no one cared about the UConn football team because y'all are a bunch of losers. The school that produced Tim Boyle. You know what I mean? Dan Orlovsky talking about, hey, man, Dan Orlovsky don't deserve nothing. I know I cursed. That one I know I did. All right? Because Dan Orlovsky...
And by the way, I'm sorry, Big Reg, drop the link to your channel. He's looking to get 50 likes on his live video that he put up, I believe it was last night. And he's gonna come back to streaming. Y'all, click the link, hit the like button, bring large Reginald back to YouTube.
Yeah,
excellent streams, man. I really enjoyed when
Dan Orlovsky's the GOAT.
I really enjoyed Big Reg and Ghost. Okay, Ghost 86, 86 Ghost. I'm sorry.
Big boy talk.
Yes, Jay. Big Reg making a comeback.
They have subscribed. Bring them back.
Yeah, you need to go to the video, hit the like button.
Yeah.
Dan is an all-time passing leader.
That don't mean nothing.
At UConn. Passing TDs and passing yardage.
Listen,
I don't care.
It's like the meme, Ferris. It means something to me. All right, it means something to Lamar fans. Okay, it means something to Ravens fans.
Attitude Pop.
We do that too.
Hold on. Time out. Attitude Pop. We're gonna talk about this in an overtime show. We're going to discuss relationships, okay, and how to pick your relationships. You cannot determine your relationships based off of people's love for Lamar. Okay, it can't be. You don't like Lamar Jackson. You're a terrible person, right? I appreciate the dedication, but that can't be how you operate in real life.
It does show some poor judgment if you hate Lamar.
No, we don't, Attitude Pop. We do not hate everybody from FS1. We just hate Acho. I just hate Shady.
I like that.
I don't like Acho and I don't like Shady. I think they're annoying.
My hate
for Acho spans beyond the ridiculous Lamar criticism.
Yeah.
Not Daniel. Emmanuel Acho has said a lot of problematic things about black people. Yeah. I put him in that. I put him in that Jason Whitlock bag.
He's a coon.
That has nothing to do with Lamar.
Yeah.
You're telling me he's a jive turkey?
He's a raccoon, a wild coon, a porch monkey.
We need to bring back jive turkey. Can we bring that back? I want to bring that back.
Massa. He's not sleeping in the house now, is he not? He's one of them.
Emmanuel Acho famously said, "I can't understand Black America and their struggle because I'm Nigerian."
Yeah.
Keep
criticizing him though.
I do want to take a moment. To shout out Attitude Pop and say thank you to Attitude Pop for taking that ban seriously. He did not vote for Aaron in this poll. I appreciate you. This is a landslide for Ryan Clark, as it should be.
Yeah. I like Joy Taylor. Big fan of most of the NFL Live crew except Orlovsky. You know, I'm a big fan of Spears.
And how about the people over there are just bad?
Some of them are just bad. Like Shady McCoy has no business.
I don't like most of the people on ESPN either.
Dude, Shady McCoy has no business allowed on TV.
Nick Wright is the worst personality on TV.
Nick Wright, man. He's a smart guy. He's a smart guy, and he could be great at. I think he is great at what he's trying to do. He shouldn't be doing what he's trying to do. He could be just great in general if he would go on there and just be honest. But he went the Skip Bayless route.
He's a bad Skip Bayless impersonator.
Yeah, he picked Lamar to be the guy that he's gonna beat up on and make the villain, just like Skip did with LeBron. And he's just riding it for as long as he can ride it. And he's too smart to have to rely on that. But I imagine it's an easy way to make that point.
I think FS1 pressures him to do that. Just saying, hey, we're trying to build you up to be the next Skip Bayless. We're trying to give you that huge contract. Here's what you need to do. And he's playing the game.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like
I just want Shady fired.
No, I mean, I love Shady.
He don't belong there.
You don't belong there.
Like, I mean, I not even,
personally, if you can get rid of any Eagle off the screen, I'm cool with that.
Okay, you stop it. Got me over here.
You got Kelsey to get rid of too now.
But I don't like Jason Kelsey either.
That's
a lie. I hate how much I love him. Okay, that's a lie. That's a lie. I hate how much I love him. I generally hate how much I love him because he tortured me for 12 years. I really hate that. But yeah, Shady's okay. Outside my Eagles hatred, he's bad. He's just really bad. He's also a liar. Like the Cowboys fans caught him on a lie, and David Hellman roasted him on air. He showed up to practice. He took a picture in front of a sign, then he left. And every Cowboys fan has videos of him leaving, and then he went on air the following day and talked about how bad Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott were bad in practice, and every Cowboys fan shared video of him leaving practice before on-field training happened. Everyone's like, "You're a liar. You are a liar."
Killer Cam is me. Mina Kimes is probably the best in sports journalism right now.
Yeah.
What happened to Bomani Jones?
I would put him up right up there too, but he's not really around. Like he does whatever he wants to do. He's doing.
He's not on ESPN anymore. I don't think he works.
Yeah,
there
he
anymore.
got fired. Yeah, he's on the podcast.
He was just on the Jenkins and Jones podcast this past week, I believe.
What happened to Jamel Hill? Michael Smith.
She doing her own thing too. Yeah.
Smith works for NBC.
Yeah.
But they ended his show, Mike and Mike.
Nope.
No, man, I miss Mike Golick. I miss the old days, bro.
Yeah. Golick decided to retire and do a podcast with his son.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Golick.
All right. That's it for this segment. Do we have any questions this week?
Shut up, Reg.
We do have one submitted question from our guy, Jeremy. Thank you very much, Jeremy. Really appreciate you. I'm not going to switch the sync. I'm not doing the whole 4-person.
All right, before you start,
Right?
we still got 75 people in here. Hit that like button. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. All right. Patreon. Patreon.com/LBHT Show. That's where we're going to be doing the overtime show. And you want to sign up for Patreon, man. We give a lot of perks. And it's a great gift to give for the holidays. If you're still looking for something to give your loved ones, all right? We got a nice shiny LBHT crew coin right here. Look at that. Look at that. All right. For $10 a month, you can get that. If you want to support $5, you still get a lot. You get access to our Discord channel, which you see how the chat is popping off right now. That's how the Discord is. And there's a lot of Discord. There's a lot of channels within our server. So whatever you're into, video games, sports betting, just general chat. We have all kinds of things and people in there. So check that out. And once you're in, you're in. Even if you don't become a member later on, you cancel your membership. We don't kick anybody out of there unless you ask to get kicked out. All right. Also the overtime show. That's the big one, right? It's an extra show after the main show where we discuss all kinds of things. We kind of go in a direction that you want to go into. And Attitude Pop will be there so he can get some life lessons and some relationship advice, real relationship advice. That might be the theme for tonight's show, real relationship advice. And I got to tell a story about that student at work today who was a first-time line stepper, first-time offender, okay, and the consequence that he's about to pay tomorrow. So, yes, patreon.com/LBHT Show. Also, if you like what we're wearing, LBHTshow.com/shop. All right, you can get all that stuff. You need a beanie, what B's wearing right there. That's on the store as well. So go over there and check it out. Adrian, is your site back up?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay. All right. Hold that thought. Adrian, he's working on something hot. Okay, and you definitely gonna want that. Ferris, what you got going on? Where can the people find you?
Let's Get Ready Network Entertainment. We just hit 1,000 subscribers, guys. Thank you guys so much. Long time coming. 40 years of blood, sweat, and tears. We're probably planning a stream in the near future to celebrate it. Also, too, we're over 200 on our sports channel. So I'm happy about that. On the sports channel, every Friday, 3 o'clock Pacific, me and Caleb talk the NFC East, where, pretty much every week we just kind of vent our frustrations and cry and definitely not console each other because we're too busy laughing at each other as we're crying. But, just kind of just like a session of hatred and pain and yearning for a better future and a great past. For 2011, I still think about it to this day. But yes, every Friday I do that. And then every Giants game, most of the season, I think I've only missed 2 games. I've been doing play-by-play for the Giants. I did the Ravens game last Sunday. It wasn't it wasn't an enjoyable watch for me, but that's where you get to become the best. You got to know how to operate bad games, and you got to still make them exciting. You know what I mean? So this coming up, I think we're against the Colts. So I'll be calling the Colts game. So, you know what? We may beat the Colts. I don't know, because the Colts aren't as good as people think they are.
All right.
Unless, we have a UConn quarterback like Tim Boyle, because, UConn produces apparently good football talent, apparently. According to Reginald, Mr. Hey, he completed over 50% of his passes. Yeah, and I ate 50% of my chicken wings.
Submitted questions time. Submitted questions time. What do we got, B?
Wow. We got one question from our guy Jeremy. Thank you very much, Jeremy. It says, "What are you looking most looking forward to in 2025?" It's an easy one for me. It's the launch of the Who Gives 3 Fs podcast.
I too am looking forward to the launch of Who Gives 3 Fs podcast.
Well, hold on a second, B. Hold on a second. Did we just leak something? I don't think we actually announced it to the public. We announced it on Patreon.
Well, my apologies. I'm actually, what I'm looking forward to is Carolina picking in the top 5 and drafting Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter, to continue this rebuild process is what I said.
Okay, so B let the cat out of the bag. All right, we are working on a brand new podcast with Hendo. It is called "Who Gives 3 Fs." Okay, where we every week we do a or every series. Okay, there'll be three to 4 episodes in a series where we go to different countries and we do an episode on a fact, a folklore, and a felon. Okay, so Who Gives 3Fs podcast, that is a big project that we're working on for 2025. Be on the lookout for that. We put a lot of time and effort, and we're going to be beginning production very soon. So we'll announce more about that once they're ready to go. Around springtime is when you should expect like the first set of episodes to go out. So check it out. So yeah, 2025. My goal every year is to make more money. Okay, me and OTR Quan had this conversation years ago, and I told him, I said, from this point on, the goal is to always make more. All right, so I want to make more money, not just at work, but what we're doing. I want this channel to grow, like really take a giant leap next year. I think that would be my goal for 2025 for this channel. To really take a giant leap. We have some we're making a little extra money now. We got another sponsorship deal. Okay, shout out to Magic Mind. We're going to be working with them some more coming up now, and just continue to build. And I think the things that we have coming up, you guys are really going to like it. And just tell everybody All right. What about you guys?
I don't know, man.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know.
Was he at loss? Was he at loss for words? I've never seen nor heard that. Paris took the day off. What am I looking most forward to? I'm looking forward to the Ravens Super Bowl victory in February. That's something I hold dear and close to me. My dad was a big Ravens fan. Just passed away last week. So bless up, rest up, Dad. And he met Shannon Sharp earlier this year when he was in France. And wow. He said he has a long-standing tradition. Like when he meets a Raven, the same year the Ravens win the Super Bowl. And he put that caption on his Instagram. So now that he has, transcended, I feel like that message is a little stronger, has a little bit more meaning, and is going to be fruitful come February when we go down to New Orleans and we show the Eagles that they not like us. Because that's what it's going to be. It's either going to be them or it's going to be Detroit. But I feel like it got to be Philly. We got to repay them for what they did to us the other week, man. And I want it to be Jalen Hurts. I want Saquon. I want Slay. I want all those boys over there. I want to beat them down, and then I want to drive to Philly 2 a.m, get a cheesesteak. I'm gonna bring my own cheese though, because I don't do that cheese with stuff. And I'm gonna have on a fresh black Lamar jersey on, black hoodie, black Scully. And I'm gonna be posted up all night. How about them Ravens, baby? That's what I'm gonna say.
There you go.
Right outside Lincoln Financial Field or whatever they call that dump up there. Yeah, I said it. Shane and every Eagles fan and Julia and all the rest of y'all trolling us. We coming for y'all. Rematch in February. Be prepared.
There you go.
For the record, they have a jail cell under their stadium. For
good.
A reason.
And I'm gonna be there.
Or was that Veterans Park?
I think it was Veterans, but I imagine they learned their lesson and probably built one in here too.
Okay. I'm
Hey, I wanna give a
looking
shout
forward to losing some of this weight.
Oh,
Trying to get down 5 pounds.
that's nothing. You can do that in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
All right, Jose. I'm trying to get small. Screw you, Jose.
Small goals, man.
Got
Small
goals
goals
here.
is how you.
What's the matter with you? And don't
So
give
what
me
you gonna do
this.
for the rest of
big dreams.
2025?
I don't know.
He's got
Lose
other
another
small
5.
goals.
Another 5.
Small steps.
All right.
Is how you
All right.
you complete a long journey.
All right, time
bro?
out, everybody. Let's give a
Okay.
shout out and a round of applause to our newest Patreon member, Brent Lauren, who just subbed. I appreciate you, Brent.
Hey, Brent,
Thank you
don't
very
share your
much.
goals because Jose may shame you.
I didn't shame you.
Yeah,
I
you
said,
did
what
shame me.
else? How did I
Yeah.
shame you?
Yeah, you're shaming me right now. See it
For
in your
pushing you
eyes.
to do better?
Yeah.
So when I
see,
say,
whatever,
hey,
man.
Ferris, I know you can do better, why are you shaming me?
It sounds small. I'm trying to start small, man. It's little goals here and there.
That's why I asked you. Well, I said you can crush it in 2 weeks.
Stack-
That's shaming you.
You stack up small goals to
So
reach
if
your
I
big
said-
dreams.
So I
Exactly.
said, if
Brick
I said,
by
boy,
brick.
Ferris, that's a tall task to lose 5 pounds within a year. I hope you can do it. I believe in
He
you.
didn't
See?
say within a year. He said that's what
That
he's
is
looking forward to.
Say it within a year.
I said you can crush it in 2 weeks. Is
I
that shaming
hating
you?
ass Jose?
You know what? I used to be like, no, I like Jose. I prefer Brodny.
Thank you, Ferris.
You never said that. That's a
Thank you,
lie.
man. Appreciate you.
No, I said
You said
I've
I'm
ne-
the you've always said I'm the mean one.
Yeah, you're kind of an asshole.
I don't know
but,
how you gathered that.
This
Right,
this
well-
right now, you're
conversation-
living it. You're living it right now. Let's go. It's time to leave.
Brent says,
Well,
hope y'all accept pesos. We do. We
Ghost,
accept everything, Brent.
we do have a super chat from Marcel. Thank you very much. To get Big Reginald video to 50 likes ASAP, so he has to unretire. Fact.
There you go.
Again,
Facts.
Reg, drop the link in the chat, and y'all hit that link, hit the like button, and bring Large Reginald back to YouTube.
What
I'm-
is going on here, Hendo?
I'm
Not
also-
you. Anybody but you, Hendo. Anybody but you.
You know,
I'm a hater.
You know it's real when me and him agree, because we never agree.
Just Aloe, I am.
Why don't you ever agree, Ferris?
I don't know. We just don't see eye to eye a lot.
Mm.
Isn't
Okay.
Brodny the mean one? No, I'm the nicest person
Yes.
you'll ever meet, man.
See?
I'm super
You,
nice.
you got it right, Gisalo.
All I'll say is this, man. Jose's never, bought me a gift. That's all I gotta say.
What do you mean Reg isn't a mod? You're not a mod, Reg? Hold on a second. Let me fix that. Let me see if I can fix that.
I'm also looking forward to improving my play-by-play videos. Probably mix in some Knicks games.
There you go.
Do some Knicks play-by-play, which is, it's definitely going to be a lesser version because they got Mike Breen calling their games. It's Mike, you know what I mean? It's Mike.
And they'll be home by May, so you don't have to do the whole
That's funny.
as long as y'all got Dolan,
I think we're making it to the conference finals this year.
Maybe.
Last year, we literally everybody was injured. Literally everybody was.
All right, you are a mod now, Reg. There you go. You are a mod. Go ahead and drop the link in there. All right. We didn't even do our picks. We got to do it quickly, man. We got less than 12 minutes to get out of here.
Yo,
right?
what is up with you, Just Aloe?
I said let's do picks, and you're bashing our you're bashing our subscribers. Brodny is one bad Panthers trade from being Ferris on the rant. Wow, that's
Just Hello is probably not even right as mine. It's past his bedtime. Okay,
Facts.
he's probably a little loopy. You know what I mean? So it's whatever. You take his comments with a grain of salt.
all right. B, let's do some picks.
Well, no, I'm getting the link in there because as Bazel is saying, Reg won't drop the link. He trying to fake he on that follow.
I could have been dropped the link if you just told me that.
Well, I didn't realize that Reg couldn't drop it.
Do you want me to put it in there?
Yes, I would appreciate that.
Yeah, I got it. I got right here.
Okay, thank you. I still don't want to do the pick, so it's time to go.
Reginald not being able to do nothing like
that's the live stream
UConn
right there.
football.
That's the live stream. I just dropped it in the chat. Go over there, click on it, hit the like button, leave a comment too. All right. A good comment, not a bad comment. All right. There you go. Yeah, I appreciate you guys' support. All right.
Oh damn! Just
picks.
you got a roof now? Shoot.
Are you ready, B?
I'm adding our last speaker here as we speak. I'll be ready in about 15 seconds.
All right. 15 seconds. And if you want to submit any questions, you can hit us up anywhere on social media at LBHT Show. You can drop it on the community tab. However you can contact us, you can ask us a question. Discord, you can submit your question that way, and we will read it on air if we pick it. Are you ready, B?
I said about 15 seconds, and I did not say to start. So, that's kind of if we're being honest.
All right, y'all. After this, we're getting out of here. We're getting out of here. Patreon.com/LBHT Show is where you can find us for the overtime show. I think this is going to be a fun one. All right. So check it out. Be awesome like Brent and all the other members of our Patreon. Sign up for as little as $5. Okay.
And do you have the correct week?
Hold on. I do. Hold on. I have it. Let me add it. Okay. You have to transition all the way over.
I did.
There we go. Okay. Now I can add it. Let me close this. And I will add the new schedule right here. All right, y'all. This is rapid fire. We got to go fast.
I got you.
Okay. Well, this is very much irritating me, so I'm going to work on this for a second here. But up first, on Thursday, we have Denver at the LA Chargers. I'm maintaining that the Chargers are a completely different team without J.K. Dobbins, and J.K. Dobbins is still out, so I'm taking the Denver Broncos.
Yep, I got the
Broncos.
Next up, Saturday, huge football day on Saturday because we have the NFL, obviously, with these two great matchups, and then we also have the first round of the college football playoffs beginning on Saturday. Actually, I think it might actually begin on Friday, but there's games on Saturday as well. First up, we have Houston at Kansas City. Houston's really been struggling. Their O-line has not been great. C.J. Stroud is proving over and over that he's the second best quarterback from that draft. I am going to take Kansas City at home.
Kansas City.
I'm going to take Houston in the upset.
Take Houston. I think Mahomes either going to sit or he's going to be hobbled. Perfect time for Vegas to cash in.
Next up, we have Baltimore at Pittsburgh. We talked about this one earlier. I've got Baltimore winning fairly easily. I believe I said 31-17 yesterday. I'm going to stick right around that score. I think it's a big win and a statement game for Baltimore.
Pittsburgh.
I got Baltimore 35-28.
23-20 Ravens.
Okay, Brent, the Discord link should be on Patreon. It should be in a pinned post. If after the show you don't see it, we'll get you set up there. But we're going to be posting also the link to the overtime show. So if you can come in there, we'll make sure we get you into the Discord that way as well. Next up on Sunday, we got the New York Giants at the Atlanta Falcons. The debut of Michael Penix. I'm going to take the Falcons at home.
Atlanta.
Yep, I got the Falcons.
ATL, shorty.
Cleveland at Cincinnati. This one could have been very entertaining. Jameis, however, not playing. They're going with DTR, and I'm going to take Cincinnati at home.
Going to Bengals.
Yeah, Bengals.
Cincy.
I got to stop biting. Detroit at Chicago. Detroit coming off a tough loss to the Bills, where they put up over 40 points and still managed to get beat. They're going to put up 40 again, and they're going to win big this time.
Going Lions.
Detroit.
I would go Bears, but I heard that quarterback likes to paint his nails. So
wow.
I'm going to go Lions.
So does your number 2 receiver, so I hope you're not really looking forward to that Super Bowl.
You don't take Super Bowls, though.
Huh?
He don't touch the ball on every play though.
Okay, well, he touched it enough. Tennessee at Indianapolis. I can't stand Tennessee, man. What is the point of you? I'm going to take the Colts.
Go on the Colts.
Yeah, Colts.
Yeah, Colts.
LA Rams at the New York Jets, taking the Rams because they are playing the Jets.
Same. Rams.
Rams.
Philly at Washington. Frauds on the road. I'm going to take the Commanders at home.
Philly. I just threw up in my mouth.
Arizona at Carolina. Carolina has been playing tough recently. They fell apart against Dallas, and now they are down Trevin Wallace. He's out for the rest of the year. Xavier Legette looks like he's not going to be playing as well. So I'm going to be taking Arizona on the road in this one.
Going Zona.
Carolina.
Arizona.
Minnesota at Seattle. Geno Smith actually looks like he may be ready to play in this one after that injury scare, but it's not going to be enough. Minnesota is obviously one of the best teams in the league, and I'm going to be taking them on the road.
Going Vikings.
Minnesota.
Vikes.
New England at Buffalo. It's going to be Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Yeah. Buffalo.
Come on now. Buffalo.
Jacksonville at Vegas. I'm taking Vegas once again because they are not Jacksonville.
I'm going Jacksonville.
Yeah, I'm going to go Jacksonville because Vegas doesn't want to win this game.
If both teams could lose, they would lose. But I'm going to go with Jacksonville just because at least they have somewhat of a quarterback.
Next up, we've got San Francisco at Miami, a battle of the never-wers. I'm going to take Miami to win and continue the 49ers slide.
I agree.
No, I got 49ers.
Oh, no. Dre's back. Yeah, Dre Greenlaw's back. Oof.
I'm going Niners. They're going to make it look good and miss the playoffs anyway.
Next up, we have Tampa Bay at Dallas. Dallas is in disarray. Baker is playing very well. I'm going to take Tampa on the road.
Tampa. Mike Williams is trying to get that 1,000 yards.
I'm going to pick Dallas because they ain't supposed to win, and they don't know how to tank.
Last up on Monday night, probably the worst game of the week, New Orleans at Green Bay. Green Bay is going to absolutely destroy the Saints.
Yep, Green Bay.
Yo, someone pointed out that Monday night's not Thursday night. I'm going Green Bay.
All right, Green Bay. Let's go. All right, we got to wrap this up.
Can they flex that game
close
off
to 2 hours.
Should we have to watch that?
All right, y'all. That's the show.
That is the show.
Thank y'all very much. Done. Come over to the Patreon. Patreon.com/LBHT Show. We're going to hang out some more. We're going to get some life advice, relationship advice. Come check us out. B, are you ready?
I am ready.
He is ready. Thank y'all very much. Have a great night. See you next week on a recorded show, but there will be a show. We'll see you next week. Peace.